Scopper Gaban, baby. Like I said, we love when our old heads do something, right? He ends up coming in, right? He ends up chopping off Sommers' arm. He's like, whoa, old people gas, baby. Old people gas. I'm here for whether it's Garp, whether it's Rayleigh, whether it's Scopper Gaban. The old heads, they've been killing it, man. And now that I hear myself say that, it kind of sounds weird. But this is One Piece chapter 1048. Gaban went crazy. Robin went crazy. Let's talk about it. We know that the kids are being used as hostages, that the giants, in order to square their loyalty to the Holy Knights, they have to set the library ablaze. So it's going to get rid of all of the ancient texts that have been passed down through different generations, as well as the texts and different information that was built up from the Ohala scars and everything that they had there. It's all here in Elbaph. So that's why it's very important. At the same time, it's really hard because, you know, wanting to save all that information, all that history, all the sacrifice that everyone had. But at the same time, these are kids, and kids, they could be a little evil at times. All right, I'm gonna admit it. I have a little nephew. He be bad. I be telling him no. He looks at me. He does the opposite of what I say. But at the same time, they're so young, so ignorant, so free that they don't do any harm to people. So we obviously want to protect them. And so one of the kids, she is the first that is going to be sacrificed. In the scans, her name is Royna, right? Very well could be different in the official translations, but nevertheless, she's like, hey, you know, I'm walking towards the edge. I'm walking on my own. It's not too bad. And then she looks down. She's like, I'm cooked. I am cooked, because if she ends up falling down, then she will fall to the underworld. And I know I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but I'm at a loss. I think personally, I probably will want to save the kids. I think that is definitely the top priority. But like I said, it's very hard to make the decision, because number one, if you do that, then they're going to be slaves to the Holy Knights, and that they're going to have to submit to them. But at the same time, you just can't let little kids die. But then also, there's so much information in those libraries. Well, who knows like how useful all that information is actually going to be. I love Robin here, right? She's like, Chopper, you stay here, I'm gonna go out. Chopper's like, wait, we don't know what they can do. I don't think you should go all out. And Robin, who's usually a calm, collected, tactical individual, she's like, well, Chopper, you're right, but you know something? I can't control my emotions anymore. Robin goes out and she's about to whoop some ass. The Straw Hats can do nothing but look as Gunko, she is on top of a briar, just watching everything unfold. We know how Nami feels about kids. At the same time, I also love Brook here. He is wrapped up like a mummy. We know how much Gunko did him dirty in the last chapter. So the fact that he's wrapped up in her bandages, I just think that's hilarious. Frankie and Ripley, they go into action. There's going to be different groups, some and including the giants as well. Some are going to try to prioritize saving the children, and the others are going to try to take on the Holy Knights. And as they are starting to prepare for battle, Sommers is like, hey, you know, if you guys take out a single book, or you try to, you know, do something with those books, that's not good enough. Every single book in every single part of history, it has to burn. All of a sudden, Robin, she comes in, use her devil powers, palms freaking Sommers, hits him dead in the face, and we see him spew blood. You thought that was enough. Robin's not even giving Sommers a chance to retaliate, a chance to talk. Nah, she's just using her devil for multiple ways, covers his mouth, uses him the standard typical clutch. But we know that Sommers is immortal, that they have really freaking broken and unique and tricky devil, so this isn't enough. And so shout out Nico Robin, because she kamikazes, grabs Sommers and dives off of the edge. Like, what? Robin, I know you're a woman, right? But you got balls of steel. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and you're enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I put out different content almost each and every day. The reason why Robin jumped off, it's pretty simple, right? She knows that Sommers is immortal, and not only just that, if he ends up leaving or he ends up being taken out, knocked unconscious, then the thorns are going to disappear, and so the kids would be saved. So I think that this is a great technique. However, Sommers, he's like, that ain't enough. He ends up I guess kind of looking like a porcupine, and he emits thorns and briars from his body and ends up hitting Robin. And it's like, oh, went through her skull. But psych, we know Robin, she's a master of illusion. We've seen her use different clones of herself plenty of times, especially when she's going to gather information. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Robin doesn't take damage. I know like different appendages that she uses, we've seen that does indeed cause damage to the original person. But in this situation, I guess the clone version of herself, that they don't receive damage like this. So, you know, shout out Robin, because she was able to fool Sommers, take him off the edge, and she was able to go back to the Straw Hat. It's kind of hilarious. Robin, she goes back to the Straw Hat, she uses a knife, she's like, man, this ain't cutting up. Like, what is this stuff made out of? And Gunko, she doesn't even see Robin as a threat, because not once did she turn around, not once did she even try to take out Nico Robin. Sommers, he's in euphoria. My boy is over the cliff, just hanging there from his briars like, Jarl, where is your answer? Shout out Royna, right? Little girl, little kid, and she still has more freaking guts than a lot of the adults, because essentially she's like, hey, you know, I love the school, I love my friends, I love everything about the life that I have, and I know that we shouldn't bother people and that we shouldn't do things that they don't like. And she's referring to the Holy Knights, talking about, hey, we need to keep peace and everything. But she's like, hey, if the library has to disappear in order for me to survive, I think that'll bother everyone. And so she thinks that it's better that she falls. Don't worry about her, like, she'll be all right. She's a lucky individual. Obviously, she's just trying to be tough, she's just trying to be brave, because let's be honest, nobody willingly wants to die. But shout out her for being such a little kid and at least putting up this brave front, trying to be selfless and sacrifice herself for the greater good of everybody else. I gotta give respect to that, man. Even though she's crying, like I said, little kid, shoot, I cry. I'm 21 years old and I'm a grown ass adult, and I even cry at different times. So shout out her being brave in this moment. Draw couldn't take it anymore, because he's crying. He's like, Angie, you have to burn down the school. We can't let this brave little girl die. And you know, Angie, she wants the kids to survive. She's crying. Robin, she let her guard down because she's crying. We know how Robin, both her and Nami, feel about kids, and because she let her guard down, Sommers, he ends up grabbing her with briars, and he's about to batter swing. Her head is about to go clean off. All of a sudden, Scopper Gaban, baby. Like I said, we love when our old heads do something, right? He ends up coming in, right? He ends up chopping off Sommers' arm. He's like, whoa, my arm is not regenerating, right? I've recently been reading Go Loser Ranger, kind of like the divine artifacts that they be having to take out the monsters. Gaban, he ends up cutting him. I don't know what he used, but he cuts him. Sommers looks like, oh shoot, Scopper Gaban. He said it's been a while, so that definitely means that the Roger Pirates definitely had interactions with the Holy Knights. And then Gaban uses his axe and freaking cuts Sommers. Sommers is like, the anime blood is everywhere. Gaban has aura. I wonder if Gaban being here, if he's going to be the individual that shows us how we're able to beat people that can regenerate. In my previous review, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I said that similar to Rayleigh showing us how we can end up defeating and I guess overcoming the powers and brokenness tisism of the Logias, I said Gaban was going to have a moment like that, and he was going to showcase, or at least give us a little bit of a blueprint on how we can defeat the Holy Knights, get past their immortalness, and then just, you know, how they can't die. And so we're going to use this not only for the Holy Knights, but the Gorosei. That is the final power up that the Straw Hats are going to have to learn. I actually don't know what he did here. I'm not going to lie to you. It looks like his blade is covered in hockey. I don't know if that's Rio. I don't know if that's Conquerors. It very well could be, and that's a whole thing, and it's really important if it is Conquerors, because what that means for Sanji, and I may make that into another video. But like I said, I am not entirely sure how he was able to do it. Does it mean if it is Conquerors that Luffy, Zoro of the Straw Hats, like their advanced Conquerors, isn't strong enough? We have to figure out what technique Gaban used. And it puts into perspective, and this wasn't even a named attack, but it puts into perspective why Zoro was so adamant a couple chapters back, like, Luffy, hey bro, we gotta die. But that's it for chapter 1148. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never saw a new video from my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. And don't forget to unleash your potential.